Let's forget about meme coins and those crazy market swings for just a second. What if crypto's real revolution wasn't about getting rich quick, but about, well, rebuilding the entire financial system from scratch? That's the big promise of decentralized finance, or DeFi. And in India, it's not just a promise, it's an absolute battleground for the future of the economy. So this is what it all boils down to. Is DeFi in India the key to unlocking financial freedom for millions of people, a brand new digital frontier? Or is it a financial time bomb just ticking away under one of the world's biggest economies? The lines have been drawn, and believe me, the stakes could not be higher. All right, so to really get a handle on this situation in India, we need to be crystal clear in what we're even talking about. So what is DeFi? Honestly, the simplest way to think about it is this. It's banking, but without the bank. DeFi basically takes all the things we normally go to a bank for, borrowing money, earning interest, trading stuff, and rebuilds it all on a blockchain. Now, the key difference here is that instead of relying on a big corporation and its employees to manage everything, DeFi relies entirely on code. There are no middlemen, no branch managers, and definitely no central authority calling all the shots. So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it all comes down to something called a smart contract, which is really just a program that runs on the blockchain. So users lock their crypto into one of these contracts, and from that point on, the code just takes over. It automatically handles everything, which lets people lend, borrow, and trade directly with each other. It's a whole financial system built on code, not on trusting a corporation. Okay, so let's bring this all back to India, because over there, this isn't just some techie concept. It's at the very heart of a huge national dilemma, and it's one that is truly dividing the public from its policymakers. And this slide really gets to the core of that conflict. On one side, you've got the Indian public just embracing crypto at an incredible pace. I mean, they're a world leader in adoption. But on the other side, you have the government and the central bank slamming on the brakes because they're terrified about the risk to the entire financial system. It's a classic tug-of-war. And if you want to see the government's caution in action, just look at this number, 30%. That is the flat tax India slaps on any gains from crypto assets. And get this, you can't even deduct your losses. This isn't just a tax, you guys. It's a powerful message. It's the government saying, we don't see this as a real investment. To us, this is a lot closer to gambling. That brutal tax is just one piece of what is a deeply confusing legal gray zone. So yeah, you can legally buy and trade crypto, but the rules are a total mess. And the few regulations that do exist, they're aimed at big, centralized companies, which completely misses the whole point of decentralized DeFi protocols. The government is pretty much deliberately holding back on creating clear rules, all because of that one big fear, systemic risk. So what's the government's counter move? Well, instead of trying to regulate DeFi, they're basically trying to compete with it. They're building their very own digital currency, the e-Rupee. This is what's called a central bank digital currency, or CBDC, and it's their attempt to give people the efficiency of digital money, but with one crucial difference. The central bank stays firmly in control. It's their version of a safe digital future. This whole situation sets up a truly high-stakes gamble for the future of finance in India. We really have to look at both sides of the coin here. The incredible promise of what DeFi could do, and the very, very real peril that has regulators so worried. So first, let's talk about the incredible promise. The people who support DeFi see a revolution in the making. I mean, imagine offering financial services to the millions of Indians who don't even have a bank account. Think about the innovation that could be unleashed when you just get rid of the middlemen, giving everyday people new ways to earn returns and tap into global markets right from their phones. But for every promise, there's a serious peril. A single bug in a smart contract's code can lead to a devastating hack, and people's savings can just vanish instantly and forever. There's also the constant fear that the government could just decide to ban it all overnight, making investments completely worthless. And what happens if a major DeFi protocol fails? It could send shockwaves through the whole economy. And crucially, when things go wrong, there's no bank to call, no regulator to help you. You're on your own. And hey, this isn't just some theoretical scare tactic. This is a direct quote from the Reserve Bank of India. They have officially warned about the destabilizing effect of these assets. That tells you just how seriously the country's top financial institution is taking these potential risks. So, given this deep divide between promise and peril, where does India go from here? Let's explore some of the most likely paths forward for trying to manage this new technology. Looking ahead, it seems like there are three main roads India could take. The first is a kind of hybrid model, allowing DeFi but only in a really tightly controlled, permissioned way. A second path would be to just ignore the tech itself and regulate the financial activity, things like lending or trading. And a third, and this one's really interesting, would be to actually integrate their own e-Rupee into approved DeFi protocols, creating a kind of official experimental sandbox. And, when you boil it all down, here's the crucial point. After looking at the tech, the risks, and all the potential, the biggest hurdle for DeFi's success in India, it isn't a technological one. The tech is already here. The real challenge is creating clear, sensible rules that can protect people while still letting innovation happen. It all comes down to building trust. And so we end up right back where we started. Is DeFi going to be a liberating force for India's economy, or is it just a dangerous gamble? The decisions made in the next few years won't just affect investors. They are going to shape the very definition of money and finance for over 1 billion people. The only question left is, which future will they choose?